Well, hello YouTubers. How's everybody doing out there? Well, I apologize for the weed eater next door, but every time I come out to record, everybody has to start a weed eater or mow. They know when I'm out here. Anyway, 2003 Ford Explorer, my project vehicle. I bought about a week ago with two other vehicles. Today we'll look at all the brakes, and I'll just show you what I'm getting into. I'm not sure what I'm getting into. I have a brake pedal going to the floor. Don't know if it's the master cylinder or the ABS on this particular vehicle. The other vehicle I had, the Expedition, the ABS set up here was easy to get to. This one sits down here, right down there. If you can see that right there, that little round thing with the numbers on it on the bottom there, that's my ABS. But I'm not sure what's going on, but I wanted to check these brake pads. So we're going to go ahead and pull these two wheels off on this side, and we'll pull the wheels off on the other side, and I'll give you a rough idea how to take these brake calipers off to check these pads. Pretty simple. Just get your vehicle jacked up, pull your e-brake, and if you're on an incline, make sure you put a block behind the wheel. It's pretty level where I'm at, so I'm not too worried. So let me go ahead and pull these wheels off. We'll get in here and take a look at some things. See if we can see anything obvious. And also, I put brake fluid in here, and it's staying full. It's not leaking any fluid. So that tells me only one thing. Either the master cylinder is bad, or the, like I said, the ABS is bad. But I could also have a worn down brake caliper, probably a brake shoe that is gone completely, causing the pedal to sink to the floor. But typically that doesn't happen on vehicles. You'll get a grinding sound or a squeaking sound, but I've got to take the wheels off anyway and check the brakes. Just something I do for safety. So we'll go ahead and look at them anyway and see if we can see anything obviously wrong. Alright, now we got both wheels off the vehicle, and first thing I want to do is take a screwdriver and get in here behind this caliper and loosen it up a little bit, because when you do that, it makes it a lot easier to come off. Push that caliper back a little bit, so this will free up the disc. And now we're ready to take off these two bolts. We have two to take off. I usually take a hammer, tapping a bunch of times, and on the bottom down here, right about there, one down there, I've already got it loose to help speed up the video. We'll go ahead and take this one out. And these are little 14 millimeter bolts. And this top one, I've hit it a couple times. I'm having a tough time getting it out. Still won't come out. Oh, God. And you got to be careful, because these are metric threads, and you can twist them. We hit it some more. It's got to come sooner or later. And, there we go. All right, there we go. All right. So that makes me happy. And I apologize for my verbal crutches. I don't know where I picked up the word "so." I say it a lot. I'm going to try to quit saying it. All right, there's the bolt. And you can see very fine threads. You have to be very careful when you put this back in. Start it with your fingers. If you have to put a little grease on it if it's really rusty. But these two are out. Now we can just take our hammer and usually just kind of hit this a couple more times. Free up the caliper. Take our screwdriver. Now you got some clips right here we have to be careful about, so we'll go ahead and slide this out like this. And we'll pull this off. And this will get us into our brake pads, and we can inspect them and see what's going on and all that. Now, when you take this off, don't let it hang down. I get a lot of crap for that. But usually I try to rest it somewhere, like right there, where it's resting on the lower arm control. And we're okay. Now we're going to pull these pads off. Actually, you know what? You don't have to really pull them off, but you can kind of get a good idea. And you can see they're wore way down. The back one here, look at that. Can you see that? Let me set the camera down, just pop them off and look at them. Tell you what, I'm not going to take them all the way out, but you can see the pads are pretty well shot. So it's going to need put some pads on it here, and that certainly may help the brake issue, but we'll deal with that later. But you can see those pads are pretty well shot. So that's the whole purpose of this. I don't want to pull them clear out, because sometimes they're a little hard to get into these sleeves there with these little metal retainers. All right, so we know these front pads are pretty much done. Let's go to the back now. Okay, same thing here on the back. Take your hammer, kind of free up everything in case there's any dirt, rust in there. Also, kind of tap your bolts a little bit there, the caliper bolts, just to kind of free them up. Now I've got the bottom one out started. It came out pretty easy. And this top one, just like the front, it's tough to get out. Let me go ahead and hit it a couple times. Oh, there we go. All right, now we got that out. So we'll go ahead and take this out. Then really all we have to do is go ahead and pull off this caliper here, and we'll look at these brakes. And like I said, I apologize for the weed eater next door. And one other thing I forgot to mention, the rotors don't look too bad. They're rusty, but I'll deal with that later. Really can't tell until you start driving if it shakes the pedal or anything, and the front rotor seems to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together. Let's go look at the other sides. I know I need brakes on this side, and I bet you anything, I need them on the other side. All right, we'll go ahead and get this side up. Now, a tip is, for a lot of these SUVs, if you can't get these lug nuts off, leave the wheel on the ground, break them loose first. That includes the back one. Then jack it up, and it'll save you a lot of time. So let's get these wheels off and look at these brakes. And I had no idea this video was already 9 minutes long, so I'll try to speed this up. All right, my wheels are on this side. Now let's go over here. I started to take the front wheel off, and I found something shocking. This is why you should always inspect your vehicles before you put them on the road and make them roadworthy. I said I had a braking issue. Well, looky here. There are no pads in here. I have no idea where the pads are. See that? Both pads are gone. Now, I don't know if that's because this rotor's locked up. I mean, not the rotor, the caliper. But if my brakes were working, this piston should be rubbing on the back of this rotor. But there's absolutely no brake pads in this front wheel. So this is why you really need to inspect vehicles when you buy them and put them on the road, especially used vehicles. This is why I'm doing this video on the Explorer. All right, well, let's go back in the back and take that wheel off. Hopefully it won't be as bad. All right, folks, we are on our last wheel, the right rear, and here are my pads, and you can see there's absolutely nothing left. They're down to like maybe 5% on this side, and I'm glad I caught it now, because if it would have gone any farther, we would have had metal to metal contacting this hub, the disc, I should say, or the rotor, and you would put grooves in it. Now I can feel the back side. I do feel some grooves back here, so more than likely damage has already begun. Other than that, that's basically about it. I'll just go ahead and order some new pads and pop this hub off later, and this rotor off, and look at it later and see how bad the damage is. But I am going to have to get new pads for the front of this. I can't believe this. Completely gone. It's not like it can fall out either, unless, you know, someone wanted it out. And if I pull this out, there's not even a pad on the back side here, no brake pads whatsoever. They are gone, my friend. So this is a good thing to do when you get a used vehicle. Inspect the brakes, because that's very important. If your brakes are acting weird or feel funny, just look at them. It'll save you a lot of time and money. And like I said, make sure your vehicle's jacked up and all that, and emergency brakes on. So I'll go ahead and order new pads and all that. And when I get ready to put them back on, in a week or so, I'll make an update to help you guys out to get it fixed. So there you go. Thanks for watching. That's the way it is sometimes. So verify before you hit the highway. I will see you guys later. My next project. Until then, take it easy.